I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, July the 8th, 2016. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin is on an official visit to Bulgaria. Rivlin arrived in the country yesterday and met with Bulgarian President Rosen Plevneliev, who briefed him on the latest information regarding the terror attack in the coastal city of Burgas back in 2012 that left 5 Israeli tourists and a Bulgarian bus driver dead. Plevneliev said his country was doing its best to bring those responsible for the attack to justice. Rivlin spoke of the attack as well. He said we must all stand strong together and say in a loud and clear voice that above all else we will fight terrorism and its supporters in any place they may try and reach and in every place they will attempt to hide. Rivlin also thanked Bulgaria for its support of Israel and noted the role of the Bulgarian people and their efforts to save the country's Jews from extermination in the Nazi death camps during the Holocaust. He said 48,000 Jews survived the Holocaust thanks to the heroism of the Bulgarians and their stance against the Nazis. During his visit, Rivlin will also inaugurate a monument commemorating the rescue of Bulgarian Jews. Former Israeli Defense Minister Moshe Ya'alon will be taking on a new role in the United States. If you recall, Ya'alon was recently replaced as defense chief by Avigdor Lieberman at the end of May. The former defense chief will now join the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. Yesterday, the institute named Ya'alon as the Rosenblatt Distinguished Visiting Fellow, a position that will focus on him writing and speaking on Israeli foreign and defense policy and the U.S.-Israel strategic relationship. The Institute's executive director, Robert Satloff, said after more than 4 decades of military and public service in and out of uniform, Bogi, referring to Ya'alon's nickname, has unparalleled insights into the challenges and opportunities facing Israeli national security. Ya'alon stated that given the importance of the U.S.-Israel partnership to Israel's national security, I am eager to spend time with the scholars and experts of the Washington Institute, meet with current and emerging leaders in the Washington policy community, and discuss the vital issues on our bilateral agenda. Ya'alon will take on the position at the end of August. A member of Hitler's mobile Nazi death squad will be allowed to remain in Canada despite the efforts of the Canadian government to have him stripped of his citizenship. 92-year-old Helmut Oberlander has admitted that he worked as a translator for the Einsatzkommando 10A unit, but said that he never took part in any murders and that he was forced to join the death squad. He emigrated to Canada in 1954 and became a citizen in 1960, but did not reveal his wartime record. And Canada's federal government has been trying to revoke Oberlander's citizenship and deport him since 1995. The case has been brought to court several times, and CBC News reported yesterday that Canada's Supreme Court announced that it will refuse to hear the federal government's latest challenge, which means that Oberlander will be allowed to stay in the country, barring any further actions. The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, or CIJA, and Canadian Jewish Holocaust survivors and descendants expressed their deep disappointment at the Supreme Court ruling. They said Oberlander was a member of a Nazi mobile killing unit that murdered more than 90,000 Jewish men, women, and children during the Holocaust. They said he lied about his complicity in these atrocities and gained Canadian citizenship fraudulently. Based on these facts, he should be deported without further delay. CIJA CEO Shimon Fogel urged the Canadian government to continue in their efforts to deport Oberlander. He said, though justice has been delayed, it need not be denied. Jerusalem's 33rd annual film festival kicked off last night in the city with a special appearance by American filmmaker Quentin Tarantino, who received an award at the festival from Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat for his unique contribution to film. Upon accepting the award, Tarantino said there is something special about receiving this prize here in Jerusalem at the foot of the Old City in the open air. God bless you all. This was the director's second time in Israel. He is at this year's festival to screen a newly restored 35mm print of his Academy Award-winning film Pulp Fiction. The festival runs through July the 17th. It will also welcome several other American directors, including Whit Stillman, who is promoting his new film, Love and Friendship, and Laurie Anderson with her film, Heart of a Dog. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, July the 8th. At 6 o'clock, live Shabbat services are coming up from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed at 7:30 by the Daniel Zamir Quartet and Taras Band, who perform at the 24th Annual Jewish Culture Festival in Krakow, Poland. At 8 o'clock, the films of Mel Brooks are discussed by Professor Jeremy Dauber, Atran Assistant Professor of Yiddish Language, Literature, and Culture at Columbia University at New York's 92nd Street Y. Then at 9 tonight, the film Israel Nightlife, followed at 10 by New Jewish Cinema with German film director Marguerite von Trotta, who sits with Judy Gelman-Myers at the Film Forum in New York City to discuss her latest film, Hannah Arendt. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Efrat Rabbi Shlomo Riskin offers commentary to this week's Torah reading. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, July the 8th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.